Hello guys, welcome to the 3D market commentary for today. My name is Becky. My email address is here. It's becky@tradictive.com. There's also support@tradictive.com. We'll also put up a link as well that you can go to, which is tradewithufos.com/Becky. If you have any questions, you can go to that link. I'll show you how it works in a minute. Now, let me just first cover the disclaimers. There they are, top left-hand corner. I won't read them to you, so please do read them for yourselves. If you need to pause the video to do that, then by all means do that. Now, our 3D market commentary is a video that we do every day, Monday to Friday, to give context to an email that we send out for free to our free members Monday to Friday as well. Now, in that email, we go through different world markets, and for each of them, we look at 3 separate elements. That's why we call it a 3D market commentary. So let's bring up the tradewithufos.com/Becky so you can just see there how this looks. So up on the top here, you can get different platforms and apps, some of which are free. If you scroll down, you can book one-on-one coaching if you'd like. And if you scroll down a bit further, you'll see that you can log in here for free. You can ask questions and we can answer them in this space. And it means other people can come here to learn things, pick up on some tips and tricks, all from this public area. So by all means, if you have questions, here is a good place to post them. Now, let me bring up the news flash, which we have here. And let's get rid of that for now. So on the left hand side is where we have our news flash or our newsletter that we send out every day. And on the right hand side are the markets or some of the markets that it will correspond to. So I'm just going to open up the US dollar for now, just because it gives me a clearer explanation for AutoClimate. So the 3 different elements that we look at when we're trading. We call it a 3D approach because we look at these 3 different elements. The first one is market climate. What we mean by that is, what's the upcoming market direction? What's the probabilities? Is the market likely to go up? Is it likely to go down? Or is it likely to not really go anywhere? We use an app to help us called AutoClimate. What AutoClimate does is it shows us, just going to move it to the side a little bit there so we can see it. There we go. It shows us where we have probabilities. What I mean by that is that if we see a thick red dot, ignore the lines, if we see a thick red dot on our AutoClimate, that tells us probability is down. If we see a thick blue dot, that tells us probability is up. If we see a thin dot of either colour, that tells us probability is neither way. So we use this to help us figure out where the probabilities lie. Then we look at buy and sell UFOs. Stands for unfilled orders, meaning where do we have buyers and where do we have sellers? That's helpful to know because lots of buyers push price up, lots of sellers will push price down. We want to know where they are to have an idea of where price might go up and down from. So we use this Ultra UFOs, and these little green ones show us where the buyers are, and the little red ones show us where the sellers are. So we'll look at that per market as well. And then we'll look at market volatility. So we'll look at each of these per market, starting with the S&P 500, which is the top 500 US stocks. So with the S&P 500, just move that again, we have a thick red dot, probability to the downside. Now, we do have sellers above us as well at 4739.5 to 4695. We've got buyers a little way below us at 4479.75 to 4436.25. And again, that's where we have buyers and sellers. Overall probability to the downside there coming from the S&P. In terms of volatility, we would expect that the S&P would move up or down in 1 year by 19.98%. In 1 day, that is 58.64 points. In a week, that's 129.1 points. And in a month, 268.73 points. Again, either up or down. So that's the S&P 500 overall probability to the downside for the time being. Now, each of these markets, we're looking at daily charts. Moving on now to look at a chart of oil. As I load it, to bring your attention up here to different courses that we have, you can do courses in futures, stocks, forex, backtesting, trading plans, and psychology. So you can register for any of our courses on our website. Most of the courses will come with a 3-month complimentary access to the apps. Now, AutoClimate is a free app on most platforms you can use it on, but AutoUFOs is a paid-for monthly subscription, and it depends on which platform you use as to how much it costs. Now, you can subscribe directly to AutoUFOs. You don't have to do a course. It's just most of the time it's actually cheaper to do a course and get the UFOs for 3 months than it would be to just use the UFOs for 3 months. So check that out depending on what you want to do. Coming back to oil here, we have a thick blue dot. That's probability to the upside there. We have buyers close beneath us between 80.47 to 77.83. So overall, again, probability up there with crude oil. In terms of volatility, we would expect oil to go up or down in 1 year by 37.11%. So in a day, that is 1.95 points. In a week, 4.28 points. And in a month, 8.91 points, either up or down. That's what we expect in terms of volatility. So overall, probability up for the time being in crude oil. So the next market is gold. Oh, there we go. Just loading gold here. As I load that, to point your attention down here to our coaching and support. We offer a bunch of coaching and support for free. We do lots of sessions on YouTube, LinkedIn and Facebook and things like that. We also have a closed coaching community where people pay a small monthly fee to have access to more of our time. Either way, we're showing you the same things. We're using the same strategies and applications. It's just about the amount of time that you get. So with gold, we have a thick blue dot there, probability to the upside. We have buyers. We're relatively halfway between buyers and sellers. So we have buyers here at 1802 to 1781.3. And we have sellers up here between 1873.3 to 1844.2. We're kind of in the middle there, not really close enough to either stack of buyers or sellers. So overall, probability is coming up here from the climate. In terms of volatility, we would expect that gold would go up or down in 1 year by 15.17%. So in a day, that's 17.41 points. In a week, 38.33 points. And in 1 month, 79.79 points. Okay, so the next market is the US dollar. As I load this, just to remind you guys that everything that we're looking at here, yes, is about probabilities and statistics, but it's not about what's definitely going to happen. Okay, we need to bear in mind that just because something's likely doesn't mean it's definite. We still need to manage our risk just in case, and you still might layer extra things on top of this to increase probabilities even further. So with the US dollar, we have a confirmed downwards climate, a thick red dot, probability downwards. Now, something that might get in the way of this, that actually already has started to, are this big stack of buyers here. These buyers are between 94.645 to 93.865. They have already, price came in, and they've already started to push price up a little bit. So what we have at the moment is selling pressure coming from the climate and buying pressure coming from the UFOs. So we've got buyers and sellers fighting each other right now. And overall, what that means is there aren't clear probabilities in one direction or the other. There's a fight going on. Keep out of it. Let them decide who's going to win. Whoever's got more orders will win. If there are more sellers, price comes down. If there are more buyers, price goes up. It would be a gamble to guess at this point which one has the most orders. So we keep away. We let it clear itself one way or the other, and then we reevaluate. In terms of volatility, we would expect the dollar to go up or down in 1 year by 5.64%. So that's 0.34 points up or down in a day. In a week is 0.74 points, and in a month, 1.54 points up or down. Okay, the last market is backed Bitcoin. As I load it, just to point your attention here to our platform, TOP stands for Tradictive Options Planner. That's why we call it TOP, but also good to be used by stock traders and futures traders as well. Okay, backed Bitcoin. We have a thick red dot, probability to the downside. Now, we're kind of we're here, we're kind of not very close to either stacks of buyers or sellers. We have sellers here at 47,610 to 45,705. We have buyers all the way down here, even further, at 32,820 to 31,615. So overall, not close enough to either stack of buyers or sellers for them to affect us, but we do have probability to the downside coming from the climate. Now, in terms of volatility, we would expect a movement up or down in 1 year on Bitcoin by 64.5%. So in a day, 1,702.45 points. In a week, 3,747.76 points. And in a month, 7,801.59 points. Again, either up or down. So that brings us to the last of our markets. For each of the markets that we've looked at, we have looked at 3 different elements. That's why we call it our 3D market commentary. So we've looked at market climate, and we've used auto climate to help us with this. Looking at the dots, the color and the thickness to tell us where the probabilities lie. Was it, and let's change back to the dollar here just to have my example. There we go. We were looking at market climate using auto climate. Did we have a thick blue dot and therefore probability was up? Did we have a thick red dot and therefore probability was down? Or did we have a thin dot of either color and therefore probability was neither direction? So we've looked at that per market, where the probabilities lie in terms of the market direction. We then looked at buy and sell UFOs. Where do we have buyers and where do we have sellers that can push price up or down respectively? And then we looked at market volatility, how quickly we expect the markets to move. The last remaining thing for us to look at here is our weekly economic calendar, which we get from fxstreet.com. We filter by high impact news because we want to know which scheduled news reports are coming out that may affect the markets and increase volatility. An increase in volatility increases risk, can increase reward. That's why we want to know about it as traders so that we can plan accordingly. So today being Friday, in about an hour or so, I'm not sure if that says 9 or 8, a bit small, but this morning, early in the morning, US time, we will have some news coming out on US markets. So that will affect the stock markets and likely affect the US dollar as well. So if you trade in that country or if you trade that currency, be aware of that as it might impact the markets today. Any questions, you can go to, like we said, tradewithufos.com/Becky. And from that link, you can log in for free and ask questions here. And that means that we can answer the questions there and other people learn from that environment. You can come to the top and get different apps or platforms from the top here. And you can also book one-on-one coaching if you'd like. Now, if you want to email me, you can email me becky@tradictive.com. There it is there. So you can email me on that if you need to. Otherwise, guys, today is Friday, so have a good end to your trading week. Have a great weekend, and I will see you bright and early Monday morning. Take care. Bye-bye.